local election headquarters. We're joined now by 3rd District Congressman, Republican Mike Kelly. Congressman, good to see you again. Thank you for your time on what has turned out to be a historic day, a big day in Washington. Your initial reaction to the Supreme Court decision today?
Well, you know, I really was waiting to hear, and it was about the constitutionality of the law, not whether the law was affordable, not whether the law was a good law or a bad law, just the constitutionality. And what we found out today is the Supreme Court ruled in favor of big government and pretty much reinforced the fact that Congress can pass laws that are onerous and overburdened to the public and maybe don't hit the mark that they should, but we can do that according to the Constitution. Not a good law, not an affordable law, but it is law.
Well, let me ask you this: based on that opinion, does the decision make any sense to you?
Well, it's not a matter of does it make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me as a private citizen. And I think, again, a lot of the reasons that some of us are in Congress right now are because people sent us. They were unhappy with the Patient Protection Affordable Care Act. They want it repealed. Our goal was to repeal it and replace it with something that was patient-centered health care, that was truly accessible and affordable, that addressed the needs of the American people, not overtaxing them and not increasing their cost of health care the way this one does. I mean, the President told us your costs are going to go down. If you have a policy like you can keep it. The fact of the matter is, neither of those items are true. He said it wasn't going to increase your taxes or your costs. It is a tax increase on the American people. Flat out, that's what it is. It's a tax increase, and that's why the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality.
All right, let me ask you this, Congressman. Obviously, you know, something for the President to be pleased about today. Others are also arguing that it gives Republicans a rally point for the fall. Is that something that you think will happen here?
You know what, I got to tell you, the idea to me that it's a Republican loss or a Democrat victory or vice versa is really not. The question is it good for the American people? Is it good for the people that sent me to represent them? The answer to me is no, it's not. Raising your taxes, raising your cost of health care, making it harder. Now, the 15-member panel that's going to decide, these are unelected officials who are going to decide the future of our seniors, their health care, is not a good program. And taking $500 billion, $500 billion out of Medicare is not a good program. This is an onerous and overreaching law that I think needs to be repealed and replaced with something that makes sense for the American people and the people who are picking up the tab on it, and that's the American taxpayer.
Let me turn, before we let you go, turn to one more subject. The Fast and Furious situation. General has been cited for contempt of Congress. Yeah. Why, in your opinion, should all Americans be upset about this?
Well, I think that we are a nation of laws, and we are a nation that believes that nobody is above the law. I am not concentrating on Eric Holder. I'm concentrating on the Attorney General. The Attorney General has to be held to the same standards as every American citizen. All we're looking for are the truth, the answers to why Agent Terry is dead and why there's, according to the LA Times, 200 Mexican citizens dead because of a very dangerous and reckless program. And all we've asked for was the information. And really, it's disturbing to me that we have to wait and wait and wait to get that information and to find out at the last minute the Attorney General is not going to turn over documents that would, in fact, reinforce his stance that he never knew about it, that it never rose above the ATF in Arizona, and that the President of the United States and the White House certainly knew nothing about it. There's nothing in those documents other than something that could be damning to what they've already said, and they've already retracted statements, okay, and I hate to use the terms evolving truth and inadvertent speech. That's not what the American people want to hear.
Like I was going to say, we have to kind of leave it there. Hopefully we'll be able to talk about this more at some point, but Congressman Mike Kelly, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Sean.